These are two of the most respected suit-making traditions on the planet, separated by 6,000 miles and nearly 300 years of history. Yet they share a bond so deep that the Japanese word for suit, sebiru, comes directly from Savile Row. This is the story of British versus Japanese bespoke suits, and which one actually creates the highest quality suits. Let's start where it all began. Savile Row was built between 1731 and 1735 as part of London's Burlington estate. Tailors began occupying its boutiques in the late 18th century, and by 1846, Henry Poole Co. became the first tailor to officially open on the Row itself. From there, a dynasty formed. Huntsman opened in 1849. Anderson and Shepherd opened in 1906. Gieves and Hawkes trace their roots back to 1771, and they have held a royal warrant from every British monarch since King George III. These houses didn't just dress men, they dressed empires. For roughly 300 years, from the Restoration to World War II, British style dominated men's clothing worldwide. The British Empire literally put bespoke-clad men in charge of a quarter of the world's population. And that word, bespoke, was born right here. When cloth for a suit was said to be spoken for by an individual customer, the term stuck. Savile Row didn't just create suits, it created the vocabulary of luxury tailoring. Now, the British suit has very specific DNA: a soft but straight shoulder line, a high front buttoning position, a curved waist, and a high prominent sleeve crown. These suits tend to be harder and sharper than tailoring made elsewhere, using more shoulder padding and canvas, prioritizing straight, angular lines. Think of it as architecture you wear. The legendary Frederick Schulte, working from No. 7 Savile Row at the turn of the 20th century, pioneered what became known as the London cut, or English drape, a reaction against the narrow, constricted tailoring of Victorian times. Anderson and Shepherd perfected this into their signature silhouette with a high, small armhole, full chest, and natural shoulder line. And at Huntsman, the iconic Huntsman cut, devised by legendary head cutter Colin Hammock, became synonymous with structured British elegance. Every garment from these houses takes 60 to 80 hours of handwork. 60 to 80 hours. That's a full-time job lasting 2 weeks, poured into a single suit. These suits are fully canvassed, never fused, often using premium cloths like Super 120s wool from mills like Holland and Sherry and Dormois. And these houses have developed their own language over the centuries. A draft with many alterations becomes a Clapham junction. An unclaimed garment gets called a pig. And if you've gone out drinking, you've been on the cod. This isn't just a trade, it's a culture. Now let's fly east. Until 1868 and the Meiji Restoration, almost no Western-style tailoring existed in Japan. The Restoration made Western dress required for courtiers and bureaucrats, and suits slowly gained popularity among professional men. But the vast majority of Japanese still wore the kimono. Even those who wore tailoring during the day would change into a kimono at home. That did not meaningfully shift until the 1930s. When it did, the style was unmistakably British, structured, padded, and stiff in silhouette. As Takuya Kondo of Vic Tailor explains, the traditional Japanese suit is relatively loose, influenced by comfort and a little by the American sack suit, but the foundation was always British. So how did Japan go from copying English suits to rivaling them? The answer lies in a uniquely Japanese philosophy called monozukuri, the art of making things. It is not just about the end product. It is about the process, the maker, and the continuous pursuit of perfection. This intersects with Kaizen, continuous improvement, and it transforms everything it touches. Take Ring Jacket. Founded in 1954 by Joichi Fukushima in Osaka, Ring Jacket was born from an obsession. Fukushima became infatuated with bespoke suits and set about creating ready-to-wear of equivalent quality. His team traveled to Naples repeatedly, buying Neapolitan suits and literally taking them apart, stitch by stitch, to study the construction. And yet Fukushima himself remains humble. He says that they still have not been able to fully achieve the feeling and comfort that Neapolitan tailors create. He says their goal continues to be to create ready-to-wear garments that are of the same quality as the hand-sewn garments made by Neapolitan artisans. Ring jacket garments are always fully canvassed with hand-stitched elements and top fabrics, often using Super 110s and Super 120s wools from Italian mills like Loro Piana. They are a cross-cultural achievement, English flannel in an Italian cut executed with Japanese precision. Then there is Noriyuki Ueki of Sartoria Ciccio, who earned his nickname while training in Naples. Ciccio, a shortening of Francesco, was the name of several respected tailors before him, and the Italians gave it to Ueki as recognition of his skill. Ueki says the heritage behind classic Italian suiting is impeccable. He says he went to Naples to learn all that, and that Japanese tailoring is very exquisite. As the rake noted, where Italian tailoring is louche, here it is both soft and sharp at once. Japanese tailors like Ueki gained international recognition through trade shows like Pitti Uomo in Florence, where their meticulous craftsmanship caught the attention of Western buyers. And the technical innovations are genuinely fascinating. Japanese lapels feature a buttonhole stitch called hachizashi, named for the figure 8 pattern in which it is sewn. Instead of gluing interlining to the fabric, this technique involves delicately sewing it with threads, creating a soft, natural roll in the lapel that no machine can replicate. Ginza Tailor even offers a personal kanji embroidered into your jacket, designed by a calligraphy artisan who creates 3 interpretations of your character for you to choose from. That is not just tailoring, that is ritual. Now the question everyone wants answered, which actually gets made better? And this is where it gets uncomfortable for some people. An anonymous Savile Row tailor recently and somewhat drunkenly confided that his Japanese off-the-rack garments were of superior quality and less than half the price of his made in UK bespoke production. That statement sent menswear forums on fire, and for good reason. A bespoke suit from Huntsman starts around £6,000. Edward Sexton, £6,600. Top commissions from master cutters can run £25,000 and beyond. Meanwhile, Sartoria Ciccio starts at roughly £3,500. Ring jackets ready to wear, fully canvassed, hand-stitched, using premium fabrics, costs a fraction of Savile Row bespoke. Ginza Global Style offers 2 custom suits for under £400, but price alone does not tell the story. Some notable Savile Row houses have quietly outsourced manufacturing to Asia for consistency, mixing those garments with in-house production. Henry Poole refuses to do this, safeguarding traditional standards. And there is the criticism that Japanese tailoring, for all its brilliance, can tend toward copying rather than creating. The Japanese tradition is only about 150 years old, compared to Savile Row's nearly 3 centuries. Alan C., co-founder of The Armory, offers what might be the most balanced perspective. Young, promising tailors are very committed to their craft. This commitment, almost an obsession with details, is in their culture. There is a major sense of artisanship. Ueki is optimistic about Japan's future. He notes that Japan was roughly 10 years ahead of Europe in its tailoring revival, with a wave of talented young tailors pushing the industry forward. So here is where I land. British tailoring owns the heritage, the history, the architectural precision, the very language of bespoke. Houses like Henry Poole maintain pattern ledgers dating back to 1846. That institutional memory is irreplaceable. But Japanese tailoring brings an almost spiritual dedication to the craft, a relentless pursuit of perfection in every stitch, and a willingness to absorb the best of every tradition and refine it further. The value proposition is often simply better. Neither tradition is definitively superior. They are asking different questions. Britain asks, how should a gentleman look? Japan asks, how perfectly can this garment be made? The answer to which matters more is entirely personal. If you truly care about suits, you owe it to yourself to experience both.